bring up, link up, ayy. You just hit my line for the wind down. There's only one thing on my mind when you come around me. I get lost in where you found me. Want you to use me. You let her confuse me. Don't wanna hide the fact that you make me feel that way. Want you to give me play. I see it in your eyes, you're lonely. Come put that body on me. I hit it right, I will. I treat you right, I will. Trust me, I got you, baby. Know how to make you feel. They can't do you like I will. Nobody do you like I will. I hit it right, I will. I treat you right, I will. Trust me, I got you, baby. Know how to make you feel. They can't do you like I will. They can't do you like I will. Like I will.
I treat you right, I will.
I treat you right, I will.
Trust me, I got you, baby. Know how to make you feel. I treat you right, I will.
I treat you right, I will.
Trust me, I got you, baby. Know how to make you feel.
I hit it right, I will. I treat you right, I will. Trust me, I got you, baby. Know how to make you feel. I hit it right, I will. I treat you right, I will. They can't do you like I will. Like I will. Pick up the phone, little baby. You got me up and I'm wavy. You know I want you to myself. You know you've been driving me crazy. Looking me right in the eye and tell me it's mine. If not, I'ma make it that way. You know I want you in a major way. I bless that body, make you share your grace. I've been trying to get you face to face. Fall through and give you ways to waste. I do what it takes. I make them walls sing on your heartstrings. Say your
I treat you right, I will. I treat you right, I will.
Trust me, I got you, baby.
Know how to make you feel. I treat you right, I will.
I hit it right, I will.
Trust me, I got you, baby.
Know how to make you feel. I hit it right, I will. Trust me, I got you, baby.
I treat you right, I will. Trust me, I got you, baby.
Know how to make you feel.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right, so shout out to everybody who is in the room. It is good to see each and every one of you. If you can give me a thumbs up, if you hear me okay, please do. If you do not hear me, then give me a thumbs down. And I'm going to shout out everybody who is in the building early, all right? Shout out to DeAndre. What's good with it, bro? We got Brooklyn Queen in the building. We got Black Free Thinker in the house. We got Lloyd Sky 9. We got Carla Lockhart. We got Val Williams. We got, that's it. All right. So shout out to you all for being here. All right. Definitely appreciate it. If you all have not joined the Discord, please take a moment and join the Discord. Also, if you're not following me on my other social media, please take a moment and follow me on the other social media. And if you're not subscribed to all of the channels, please make sure that you guys take a moment and do that. All right. Also, make sure if you're watching this video on the replay, or if you're watching it later on in the stream and you're a couple minutes behind, make sure that you watch the stream all the way through to the end. It'll take you to the premiere window for the next scheduled stream. All right. So what we're going to be talking about is why it is over for Denver. The reason why it's over for Denver as far as the migrant crisis goes is because Denver is one of the cities that is already completely at capacity. There is literally at this point nothing else that Denver can do. Not only are they running on E, but they're running with all of their capacity completely maxed out. It is completely maxed out. It's maxed out to the point that the education system and the healthcare system there is failing. which means as a result of that failing, that's going to cause spillover to the residents of Denver. So now my question for you guys in the comment section is, as you're listening to this article, as the system starts to break down and these things that are in place start to not work for the people who live there, what kind of problems are you all expecting to see? Let's see how good you can guess. Out of everything that we're going to talk about, what do you all think that we're going to talk about? You all already know about the healthcare issues, but what else is there? Let me know. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to listen to this video from the mayor of Denver, whose name is Mike Johnston. Okay.
For being with us. And my first question is, what resources just generally do you feel like you need from the federal government right now amid this surge in migrants?
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I mean, I think we have been pushing really hard that there are 3 key items we need right now. We definitely need the Congress to take action on dollars for support for cities. That's key. I think the second is we need more work authorization for folks that are arriving to our cities. The biggest issue is we have folks here who want to work and are not able to work. And the third is we need their help on a plan for coordinated entry. So we don't have just the governor of one state deciding where all newcomers go, but actually a coordinated plan nationwide for all of our cities and states to be a part of the solution. And we think those 3 things can actually help us be very successful. We just need those 3 things from Congress to be able to succeed here at the city level.
You've been pushing on the issue of work authorization specifically for some time now. You asked the White House last month for more authorizations. Have you gotten any response from the Biden administration?
Now, here's my question for you guys. We got 9 people, and I need each of you all to answer this question. What are work authorizations going to do to fix the issues that Denver is going through? That's my question for you guys. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Shout out to DSA1. What's good with it, bro?
Administration or any indication that increased authorizations might be part of the negotiations that are going on in D.C. around this border issue?
We're working hard at it. I think they understand it and see it. I met with Secretary Mayorkas months ago, and that was before he then took the step to grant temporary protective status for Venezuelans that came before July 31. That was a tremendous help for many of our Venezuelan newcomers who arrived in August and September. The challenge is now, we have 4,500 migrants in shelter tonight in Denver. We are the single largest recipient of migrants per capita of any city in America. And almost all those folks that have arrived.
So now, how many people knew that Denver was the largest recipient of migrants per capita? If you guys were aware of that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys were not aware of that, give me a thumbs down. Now, being that Denver is the city that got the highest amount of per capita migrants, that right there is one of the reasons why we have seen the accelerated decline of Denver. Remember how I talked about Denver has just crumbled faster than New York City? So now what we can do is we can kind of take a micro look at Denver and basically say, okay, what we see going on in Denver, that's probably what we're going to see going forward in New York and Chicago if they don't fix this. And shout out to MC. What's good with it? So now, okay, shout out to you guys for answering the question, right? So now here's the next question. The next question is, if we know that work authorizations do not cover or address all of the issues that are causing all of these separate problems with the migrant crisis, my question for you all is, why do they keep offering that up as a solution to people? Let me know what y'all think.
Now don't have access to that temporary protective status, so they don't have a clear path to work authorization. That makes it harder and harder for us to help them. And every time I see folks, they ask me the same thing, which is just, how can I get a job? All I need is access to work. And so we're optimistic that that's making progress, and we think should be an area of bipartisan support. Nothing more un-American than having someone.
Now, here's another question. Denver's hospital system is about to fail. You guys are already aware of that, though. But just reiterating, right, because that's what's in the title. Denver's hospital system is about to fail. My question is, what is giving migrants jobs going to do to either slow down or stop the failure of the hospital system in Denver? Let me know what you guys think. Shout out to my man Jesse Parrish, who's out there in Denver. You know what I'm saying?
And come to the country and tell them they can't work to support themselves once they get here. So we think whatever Congress decides is their admission policy, that's got to come with clear and immediate access to work once they arrive.
We had the mayor of Houston on just before Christmas. We've had a lot of mayors who've been talking about this issue publicly. I'm curious what the conversations are like behind the scenes, the contact you have with your fellow big city mayors, all of you trying to address this issue from slightly different perspectives all around the country.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversation and partnership. Obviously, you know, right now, Chicago and New York and Denver together, we've accepted more than 200,000 migrants. So we are the great majority of all of the incoming traffic right now. So
now here's the question: did they accept these migrants willingly, or did they accept these migrants because they were forced to accept these migrants? What's the scenario?
we have been in regular contact, but I've also been in a lot of contact with other mayors from other cities, some of whom have less inflow of migrants right now and are willing to be a part of the coalition to find a better solution. So I think when you're a city mayor, you're nonpartisan, you don't have a flag in the ideological battle in DC. You just want to be able to run your city effectively. And what we need really is this work authorization plus resources and a coordinated plan. And we think that gets us a long way towards a successful strategy.
But my understanding is this has become something.
Shout out to JW. Yeah, I absolutely read your comment, bro. And I appreciate it. I'm glad that you enjoy the videos about Nimrata and Kamala. Definitely more are coming on her and other people. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, bro. I definitely appreciate it. And I appreciate the comments. I try to stay out of the comment section so people can have lots of dialogue, lots of interaction back and forth. I don't want to be like too much of a distraction, or honestly, I don't want to be arguing with people in the comment section, because I would rather see people interact together and build in the comment section. And, when I do the live streams, I can talk and address things and different stuff like that. So if anybody ever wonders why I don't like respond in the comment section, it's not because I'm ignoring y'all. It's because I want you all to come up with the dialogues and the answers, and we chop it up about that stuff when we stream. So, you know what I'm saying? I want you guys to have lots of ongoing long conversations where you're responding and reacting back to each other, and addressing certain issues and bringing up new stuff, that I could read in the comment section and say, oh, that's a good idea, maybe we should do a stream on that, and do like that. So shout out to y'all, man.
Think of a political fight in Colorado where you've had some of the surrounding counties and communities very concerned about how Denver is handling this. Does the governor step in that situation? I mean, talk to me about how this is working in your region, in your broader community.
Now, the governor has been a great support for us. So we're lucky to have Governor Polis, and his team has done a fantastic job to help us with resources and other supports. But we do know this is a regional issue. I mean, the major reason we're the top recipient for migrants right now is because we are the shortest and cheapest bus ticket north of El Paso. You come straight north on I-25 from El Paso. Denver is the first big city you hit. And so we think this does need to be a regional solution. We're talking to mayors around the region. And frankly, we're hitting a point where there's not much else we can do. We have almost filled every single available hotel room in the city and county of Denver. And so we're over 4,500 migrants in shelter tonight. If that number continues to rise, we just wouldn't have the capacity in Denver to support it. So we are reaching out beyond our borders. And
so now here's my question. Why do you all think that none of the mayors and none of the city governments have any numbers or have any mathematical models that would indicate what numbers at capacity would these situations start to affect and spill over into the population and affect the people there? Why haven't they looked into that? Because I would think that would be something that they would want to prioritize, making sure that it doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So just let me know. And shout out to JW. Absolutely not. Make sure you say and put down everything that's on your mind, bro. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about it.
We know people have questions and concerns, but I think they also don't want to see families and kids homeless in the streets of our cities. And so we want to make sure we find a solution that can avoid that.
Well, to that end, you've said you've not considered turning away any of these buses of migrants that are coming to your city. But is there a point at which that's something Denver might have to do, or something you might have to consider?
Yeah, we're going to hit a capacity at which we just won't be able anymore to manage the amount of inflow. And so we're trying to avoid that problem. But we know we can't keep growing at this pace. When I took the oath of office 6 months ago, we had about 400 migrants in shelter. We are more than 10 times that number right now. We've brought 35,000 through.
Shout out to Robb from Denver. Yeah, that's up. And he's absolutely right. And like I haven't got a chance to do the Box Bro stream, but like I said, I got it coming. You know what I'm saying? And we are absolutely going to get to that, because Mayor Mike Johnston failed on his effort that he had to quote unquote get the 1,000 people sheltered. to the people from Denver who are in here. Do you guys remember that promise that I think it was either Mike Johnston or Governor Polis made the promise that they wanted to get 1,000 people off the street, and they failed to do it. But now they met all of their goals for the migrants. What do you guys think about that?
This year, and remarkably been able to get 99% of them up and placed into housing or work or onward travel. And so we have been very successful, but now we're hitting a breaking point at which there's just not enough volume of work or of housing in the city to support this ongoing volume. Not to mention the impact on city budgets. This could be $160 or $180 million of impact on our budget next year. That's almost 15% of the entire city budget. So those are numbers we certainly couldn't accommodate on our own without real help.
And to that end, I mean, New York City's mayor, Eric Adams, they've been getting hammered by this. He told a reporter recently, he said something to the effect of, not everyone that's coming into this country is pursuing the American dream. It sounded somewhat Trumpian. I mean, I wonder how you feel like, does that narrative kind of play into the anti?
They said that Eric Adams sounds like Megatron. If you guys think that Eric Adams sounds like Megatron, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think so, give me a thumbs down. I think they're crazy. I don't think that Eric Adams sounds like Megatron at all. I don't think that Eric Adams is concerned with closing the border. I don't think Eric Adams is concerned with the issue that the border being open has caused. I think Eric Adams is more interested in easing his own stress levels and making it so that being the mayor of New York is a little bit easier, which would allow him to get less negative press. He still wants to ingratiate the migrants into the New York City lifestyle instead of putting that taxpayer money and reinvesting it into the taxpayers. Let me know if you guys agree. If you guys agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, then give me a thumbs down. And shout out to MC. I didn't know about that. MC said, and I was late in the chat, but y'all see Brandon Johnson hospitalized with panic attacks. I wonder what scared him. He should have went to one of them migrant shelters and had them give him health care. See how that turned out.
The immigrant argument that we're hearing from Donald Trump and some of his supporters, how do you view that?
I mean, the thing that actually gives me hope about this scenario is that every day it's quite clear to me there is a path to solve it. And when I talk to migrants every single day, all they say is, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't need help or charity. All I want is a job. At the same time, I get calls every day from employers and CEOs who say, hey, Mike, I hear there are a bunch of migrants just arrived. I want to hire them. Can I please hire them? So we have people here who desperately want to work. We have employers here who definitely want to hire them. We have
Who's calling the mayor asking about hiring migrants? I'm sorry, I call cap on that. Like, who's actually doing that? Hey, mayor, guess what? I got these illegal people here and I want to give them a job. Like, who's actually doing that? Who's making these phone calls and saying this? If this is true, he should play a recording of these messages on his answering machine with the names redacted so that we can hear this demand. I don't believe that this is taking place at all. And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. We got 21 people watching and we got 16 likes. If everybody could smash that like button and get us to 30, that'd be great.
Federal government that stands in the way of our ability to get them hired. I talked to a migrant on Friday who is here on an asylum claim, and that asylum claim is set to be adjudicated right now in the year 2029. And so that is not a path for success for him or for our city, but they do desperately want to work. We just want to give them the chance to get to work.
All right, a message from the middle of the country to Washington. Help us get these people to work. Mayor Mike Johnston, thank you for your time.
So now, okay, so help us get these people to work is the message, right? That's the narrative, right? So now here is my question. When it comes to, there's two articles that we're going to be looking at, and then we're going to look at a third, okay? How does help get them to work deal with this particular issue right here? Shout out to Black Spider. What's good with it? Shout out to Wallow J. What's good with you? Hold on real quick. Okay. Yeah, there we go. We good. Okay, this is what I'm looking for right here. Oh, nope, that's not what I'm looking for. This one is the one that I'm looking for. Okay, sorry about that. Shout out to Kelly. What's good with it, Kelly? All right, here we go. This is what I'm looking for right here. How does any of that stuff help with this? How does getting migrants jobs deal with this problem right here? New immigrants pose difficult dilemma as Denver Health sees thousands of unpaid medical visits. Do they think that these people are still not going to have to go to the doctor? And do they think that getting these people who are already here work permits is going to stop more people from coming into the border to replace the demand? Like, if you increase the population, you're still going to have a stress and strain on the healthcare system. So my question is, okay, we hear you about the work permits. What about this? Because this right here is not a work issue. This right here is a capacity issue. Okay. Denver Health, the city's hospital safety net, saw $10 million in additional uncompensated care in the last year, which the health system largely attributed to the tens of thousands of medical visits from immigrant patients from South and Central America. $10 million in unpaid bills that they gave health care to these people, and they didn't have to pay for it. What do you guys think about that? How's that work? The rise in cost coincides with, and health officials attribute to, the unprecedented number of immigrants who have crossed America's border illegally and arrived in Denver. So this right here is specifically a coincidence of illegal immigrations. Causing problems like this that hurt the citizens is exactly why entry into the country in this way is illegal. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Overall, these patients don't have medical insurance. So now, if they don't have medical insurance, but they're getting health care, who's paying for it? Who's ultimately paying this bill? Another thing that they're doing is taking up a hospital bed that a citizen is not able to utilize. That's another thing that they're doing. Denver Health is eating the cost of many of these visits. Now, here's my question for you guys. How long is Denver Health going to be able to keep this up? And shout out to everybody that's watching. Again, I appreciate you guys. If y'all haven't hit that like button, please take a moment, hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys take a moment, hit that bell icon, and subscribe to the channel. And also, please share the stream. And when you share the stream, if you know anybody that will be interested, please tag them in your share. Uncompensated care includes health services that are provided but not reimbursed, often because patients lack medical insurance or the ability to afford the cost of care. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Once they provide these people with these work permits, is that a guarantee that those people will be able to afford health care? If you ask me, it's not a guarantee. And the reason why it's not a guarantee is because we all work and most of us can't afford health care. So now, why do criminals who have broken the law to get into the country illegal, why do they get to get health care paid for by us when we didn't break the law to get here illegally and we can't afford health care and we don't get any help from our government? We don't get any help from anybody. I want people to try to make sense of this. Yeah, and that's facts. Most of them will still be on Medicaid. Big fact. Shout out to American Negro. What's good with it, bro? This group of patients were identified as new to Denver Health, as those without medical insurance and from one of the following countries: Colombia, El Salvador, Ecuador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. Now, what's interesting is that, do you see an African country in this lineup here? If you see an African country in this lineup here, I'm gonna need somebody to tell me which one of these countries is an African country. Lion's share are from Virginia. Lion's share are from Venezuela, a country in which more than 7 million people have fled the brutal regime. It's not just adults. Denver Health is also experiencing record patient volumes among those younger than 18, with a 10 to 15% increase demand in pediatric care. While the Denver Department of Public Health and Environment performs the bulk of the city's health duties, Denver Health operates as the safety net hospital and consequently is partially funded by Denver taxpayers. Now, let me ask you guys this question. The Denver taxpayers that are partially funding this, do you all think that they're getting as much access to this as the migrants? Shout out to my man JD Informant. What's good with it, bro? And my question is, why isn't this being talked about by the mainstream media? How many of, I know, shout out, we got a couple people in the building from Denver. Shout out to y'all. But aside from the people in Denver, how many people had heard about this, that the healthcare system is literally on the verge of being about to snap in half in Denver? They're not talking about this on the national news all day long. You would think that they'd be talking about this on ABC, on Fox. Well, we did see a little news clip about it from Fox, but NBC, CBS, they're not talking about this. They're on if you go and watch CBS, ABC, and NBC, they're playing old migrant videos that we were talking about months ago. See, because it's hot in the YouTube algorithm to talk about the migrant crisis now, right? But we've been talking about this before it was hot. We were talking about the migrant crisis when it was only 15, 20 people watching the stream. Y'all, if y'all remember back in them days, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't remember, give me a thumbs down. That was before we called it the Undocumented Bros. You know what I'm saying? Then when more people start becoming interested in it, you know, we had to put in a nice little marketable package so people come back and people like it and people watch it and people become informed, right? But before, you know what I'm saying? Well, we was just, you know, talking about it and it was in the immigration playlist. We was talking about this in the immigration playlist. Yeah. Shout out to Torian. Torian said, Rob, you said back in them days like it was in the 2000s. I got migrant videos on my in the playlist. If y'all watch the immigration playlist on BLR1 and BLR2, they go back to like 2019, 2018. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to American Negro. American Negro said, I work for NBC, Comcast, Universal Pictures, and they don't want us talking about it at work. See? Now, I'm going to ask y'all this. Why do y'all think that they don't want to work when I'm talking about it at work? You should let them see one of my videos. I bet you they get real mad. They go from 0 to 100 real quick like Drake. You know what I'm saying? The estimated payment for clinician services to Denver Health this year is $73.1 million, which reflects a 6% increase. Caused by what, guys? Said Emily Williams, Denver Public Health and Environment spokesperson. Work and access to basic needs. Again, how does that fill the gap of all of this millions of dollars that's not getting paid? Why do they just keep saying this like this is a end-all, be-all? Why do they keep acting like this is just an end-all, be-all? Many of these new patients have underlying medical conditions or have run out of or have no longer have prescriptions, McCormick says. So this right here goes into what Brandon Johnston was saying when he was talking about they're coming here sick. Now he in the hospital. Now he's sick. I wonder if that point on top of his head looked like it wilted now that he in the hospital not feeling good. So it also says a large number also suffer from diarrhea, rashes, and skin conditions, as well as injuries associated with the nearly 3,000-mile Adjournus journey from Venezuela to the United States. Again, which makes you question how well is your mental state intact if you decide to consciously make that decision to come here. They got diarrhea, shitting all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. We don't need that. How many people seen that? How many people? A couple years ago, how many people seen that picture of Trump where he shit on himself at the golf course? If y'all saw that, give me a thumbs up. If y'all didn't, give me a thumbs down. Megatron shit on himself. He shit out a brown Energon cube in his drawers. and then just walked away like it was all good. Did y'all see that shit? Oh man, he was probably drinking Pepto-Bismol like a damn baby bottle. Oh man, Diaper Don, yo, that's crazy, man. It's supposed to be Dapper Don. This motherfucker Diaper Don. Oh man, crazy. He just walked away like nothing happened too. Like, man, how you just walk away like ain't nothing happened, bro? That's 45 Savage for real. Oh man. So now here it says it's not surprising when they get to Denver that there's severe and acute healthcare needs, said Dr. Stephen Frederico, Chief Government and Community Affair Officer for Denver Health. Healthcare providers at Denver Health have also seen chickenpox cases among immigrants, many of whom lived in congregate settings that can foster the spread of disease. So what I find concerning is that you're seeing the same communicable disease spread in Denver that you see in the migrant shelters in Chicago. That's kind of scary because once these people then get into the general population, my question for you all is, what do you think is going to happen to the diseases that they have that have been untreated? Chickenpox is a highly contagious disease that causes itchy blister-like rashes and requires about 82% of the population to be inoculated. Another issue with chickenpox is that if you contract it, it never goes away because it's a viral infection. Chickenpox is literally a form of the herp, which means that if you get chickenpox, you just received a gift that keeps giving. You know what I'm saying? We're certainly worried about seeing rises in vaccine preventable diseases, McCormick said. Now, the problem with rises in vaccine preventable diseases is that most of these diseases are diseases that many people haven't seen because of regulation by the CDC. They've done a adequate job of containing them or eradicating them. But many of these diseases that are vaccine preventable diseases are extremely dangerous if they get through and cause a disease. They're extremely dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, facts. Later in life, shingles. Big facts. As of noon, listen to this. As of noon Tuesday, Denver had welcomed 37,571 immigrants. Now, my question is, are those people actually welcome there? That's the real question. The real question is, are those people welcome there? And also, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to y'all for all being here. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please take a moment, help me out. Make sure you guys smash that like button. We got 43 people watching and we got 31 likes. If everybody could smash that like button and get us to 50, that would be great. Shout out to my man, James Hudson. And shout out to everybody that does the notification survey. I know for a fact that most of the people who came in here early were the people that got the Discord notifications. Most of y'all didn't get a notification and y'all just scrolled up and down the home screen and y'all came in. I appreciate that. Because what that shows is that we're starting to build it to where the channel's notification issues are a non-issue. So shout out to y'all for that's important. Keep doing what y'all are doing. You know what I'm saying? So now here says, early in the humanitarian crisis, city officials decided to take on the cost of temporarily providing food and shelter, as well as transportation for those seeking to put down roots somewhere. Officials have estimated that 70% of these new arrivals do not intend to stay in the Mile High City. So they're going to go there, they're going to use up the taxpayer resources, and then they're not even going to be able to contribute back to the city through work or service, and they're going to be gone. Think about that. And see, look at everybody in the comment section. DSA and Kelly. They found it through scrolling. Shout out to Jesse. Jesse got the notification from YouTube. Shout out to the Discord gang. If it's any Discord gang member, do we got a Discord emoji for the members on this channel? If it's Discord gang emoji and Discord gang members in this bad boy, throw the Discord gang sign in the chat. Gang signs in your face like 3-6 Mafia. You know what I'm saying? Denver has purchased buses, plane tickets, and train tickets, like plane, trains, and automobiles with Steve Martin. Who knew that would actually be some real shit? Planes, trains, and automobiles. How you getting past the border? Plane, train, automobile. The taxpayer's going to pay for it. So Denver has purchased bus, plane, and train tickets for fewer than half, an indication that more than 3 in 10 of the city's newly arriving immigrants may be making Colorado's most populous city home. More than 3 in 10? That's only 30%. That's not something to write home about. That's not that right there. The fact that they're only going to possibly recoup spent money from that health system if those 3 out of 10 people stay there and work. And in order for them to even recoup it, first those 3 people got to recoup their own cost, which they're probably not going to do. And then they would have to recoup the other 7 people's costs, which they're probably not going to do. Meanwhile, they're going to still continue to be incurring costs because people get sick. Make it make sense. The city has been reimbursed roughly $14 million of the $38 million associated with the expenses, meaning that Denver taxpayers are picking up most of the tab. Now, here's my question. Shout out to the people from Denver who are watching. What are people saying in Denver about their taxpayer dollars going to this? How are people feeling about this? What are people saying about this? What are they saying? What's the street sounding like out there? You know what I'm saying? Denver Mayor Mike Johnston has already asked department heads to find 10 to 15% in savings to brace what is expected to be a $180 million cost this year if the crush of new arrivals does not abate. First and foremost, it's not abating. And second of all, as you can see, they're going after the New York model, making budget cuts. They're making budget cuts. You guys think that people in Denver are happy about budget cuts? The people in Denver have to spend more money, and with spending more money, they're going to be able to utilize less resources, because with the more money that they're spending, those resources are being divvied up with migrants. Make that make sense. In the discussions about the need for work permits and additional funding to support these newly arriving immigrants, scant attention has been paid to their health care needs, some have said. Now, here's my question. What citizens have had their health care needs paid attention to? What citizens have had their medical needs paid attention to? Lack of medical care is one of the biggest issues facing most Americans. We're not doing on the government side of what we're not doing on the government side of this is providing an opportunity to work access to basic needs such as health care. An opportunity to work and access to basic needs such as healthcare. Again, what they're doing is throwing money at a problem that keeps on growing, which means that if that's how you plan on solving this, throwing money at a problem that keeps on growing, that means that your supply of money has to keep on growing. They grow their supply of money by taxing people and printing off money. Nobody's going to be okay with that. That we've already said it multiple times, but we're going to have to reiterate it. The way that they're dealing with this problem is unsustainable. It's unsustainable. They're not going to be able to continue going like this. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 46 people watching and we got 39 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us to 60, that'd be great. It's put the healthcare system like Denver Health in a real bind, a moral and financial bind. Where's the morality in the people coming here illegally, knowing what they're doing to the population who's already here? What about that? Notice how the people who are already here are not even being considered. There's not even any type of consideration. Just you're not even a factor. Literally, nobody even thinks about what the people that live here got going on. Nobody thinks about it. It's like Stephen A. Smith. We don't care. If you're not a migrant, we don't care. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? In 2022, Denver Health saw $125 million in uncompensated care. Now, where do you think all of that uncompensated care came from? Let me know in the comment section. Last year, it ballooned to $135 million, a $10 million increase. In 2020, the price of uncompensated care stood at $60 million. Federal regulations require hospitals to provide emergency care. Frederico estimated that the bulk of the $10 million difference in uncompensated care between 2022 and 2023 was, here you go, related to the influx of new migrants using the health system. How is getting the migrants jobs going to help this? How is getting the migrants jobs going to help this problem? What they're doing, guys, is they're trying to sell you this idea that these work permits, these jobs, this stuff here will fix things. It's not gonna fix things. It's not gonna fix anything. It's unsustainable is what we're looking at. Unsustainability is what we're dealing with. After losing $30 million in 2022, the health system anticipates breaking even in 2023, Federico said. It's a difficult dilemma of how we best meet their healthcare needs when healthcare has not been a part of the equation, Federico said. A surge in new immigrant patients from South and Central America equates to roughly 8,000 people and 20,000 visits, Federico said. So again, what is a job going to do to deal with these numbers? Say, for instance, 10% of the migrants gets jobs. How is that going to change that number? Why would having a job change this number? Are we assuming that because people get jobs that they're just not going to need healthcare anymore? Is that a wise assumption to make? Like, does that make any sense whatsoever? If that makes sense, give me a thumbs up. If it don't make any sense, give me a thumbs down. So now here it says numbers like that for an already strained health system emerging from the C-19 pandemic is not sustainable. What damn? The low IQ, socially shunned, nobody listens to so much that YouTube keeps the channels the same because people are more concerned with what Tim Pool and Mark Dice has to say. Black man said this first. You know, kind of like the traffic light. Now everybody's saying this. The same way we said everything that we said about the brick lady first, and now the mainstream media coming out talking about it like they did some type of legitimate investigation job after they had already had the work done for them. You know, they got a pattern of doing shit like that. They just overlay the work that somebody already did for you. That's what you see right here manifested in the United States. That's exactly what the hell the United States is. We already did the work for them, and then all of a sudden everybody else getting all this glory and getting all this credit. There's going to be a point where the numbers make this very hard, McCormick said. Again, if you understand basic math, you know that. We identified this issue very early, and we started talking about it and saying it very early. We are already past the breaking point to a certain extent. No, there's no certain extent. You are already beyond the breaking point. Now you're just breaking down is what's happening now. This is what's called decay. You're at the point of decay in the mathematical model. You've beyond capability, and now you're working while destroying yourself. You're decaying. What happens when your body doesn't have enough energy capital? Energy capital is calories, is a molecule called ADP, ATP, adenosine triphosphate, that you get when you eat foods like carbohydrates and proteins, right? So when you eat these foods and your cells, the mitochondria in your cells break down ATP, energy is released. That's how you continue to have energy to move, think, and everything else that you do, right? So now, if you are not able to take in food, how does your body maintain ATP balance in order to have energy? Does anybody know? How does your body maintain itself without food? Shout out to Tiff. Breaks down muscle. Facts. Breaks down muscle first because protein is the easiest one to break down. And it digests its own tissue. It cannibalizes itself. When you break down your own organic material to sustain your metabolism, that's called decaying. That's what's going on with the Denver health system now, because it's beyond capacity. Okay? It's running on empty. It's running on E, which means now, since there's no gas, no money, no resources going back into the system, now it's got to burn its own fuel until it burns itself up. And once it burns itself up, it's gone. That's the same way. That's the way that stars die. There's no more hydrogen ions to push together to create fusion reactions to keep the star burning. So it is burnt out. It collapsed on itself, becomes a black hole. Denver's about to collapse on itself and become a black hole. I should say a brown hole. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, while the newly arriving immigrants appear to favor Denver, pockets emerged elsewhere. The mountain town of Carbondale was recently overwhelmed when more than 150 Venezuelan immigrants arrived in search of work. I bet you that's not the only thing that they were searching for when they arrived. I just got this feeling that just wasn't the only thing that they were searching for. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got our first stream sponsor. Shout out to Jerry Befford. Definitely appreciate it with the $10 super chat. Good morning. Good morning to you too, sir. I definitely appreciate it. Make sure you guys please show him some love and throw some radiation emoji in the chat. Located roughly 170 miles west of Denver, the Aspen Bedroom community has a population of about 6,400. The issue does not yet appear on the radar of the Colorado Hospital Association. Why not? Is it because it just hasn't shown up, or is it because the Colorado Hospital Association might be ignoring it? Which one do you guys think? What do you guys think the case is? What do you guys think is going on? I haven't heard that directly from other systems, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if they are seeing an increase in ER visits and other care related to the increase in migrants arriving in Denver. Kara Welch, an association spokesperson, said in an email to the Denver Gazette. We are helping more people get health care. Again, so what happens when more than the more is there that you got to deal with? For decades, the United States has struggled to address what many on both sides of the political scale describe as a quote-unquote broken immigration system. So I want you guys to put this in perspective. We're dealing with the broken immigration system by exploiting the broken healthcare system. What do you all see as a foreseeable result from that type of tactic to deal with this problem? Seriously, I want you guys to sit back and spatially conceive this. Play a simulation of this in your head of how you see this going. We're going to use the broken healthcare system to service the broken immigration system. That can't possibly have favorable outcomes. Like that just can't possibly work out well. It just can't possibly work out well. You know what I'm saying? Most, if not all, of Denver's newly arriving immigrants do not have authorization to work legally in the U.S. So then why are you calling the mayor telling them, hey, I got these illegals that aren't allowed to legally work, but I'm just calling to let you know that I got people here that want to work? Remember when Mike Johnston was sitting up there saying that on that interview? So again, that's why when he said that, that's why I called Cap. I said, no, I called Cap on that. Sorry, my dude. You're going to have to run that back. I don't believe that. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I'm sorry. One thing that people need to start doing and people need to start making a habit of is not accepting nonsense being pushed on you that doesn't make sense. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to accept nonsense that doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all, man. We got 57 people watching. We got people watching elsewhere on Twitter. Shout out to the people on Twitter. We got people on Facebook and Twitch also. Make sure that you guys follow me across all the social media platforms and that you follow all the backup channels. Make sure you guys watch this one all the way through to the end so that you guys can be in the Megatron stream. We got a bunch of content coming up today, so hopefully you guys are around to check it out and y'all enjoy it. So now here it says that has huge implications for Denver as it grapples with waves of immigrants who cannot legally work in a country where most people receive medical insurance through their employer. They don't receive it through their employer. They pay for it. What are you talking about? What are you talking about here? I don't receive no damn medical insurance. I pay a hell of a lot of money for medical insurance. That's not something that we just receive. What are they talking about here? People who are workers who pay out of pocket, you know what I'm saying, and then have to take out a flexible spending account. Why the hell didn't they mention a flexible spending account and all of the supplementary assistance that you got to have? Hospitalization insurance, cancer insurance, long-term care insurance, because the health insurance companies don't pay for everything. What are they talking about? Receive medical insurance through their employer. Let me ask you guys this question. How many of you all receive medical insurance through your employer? Or how many of you all pay for medical insurance through your employer? Literally, none of us receive medical insurance from your employer. Anybody that watches this video on the replay, if you're somebody that quote unquote receives medical insurance from your employer, can you please let us know? And can you also let us know where you work at and leave a link to where we can apply online to go, you know what I'm saying, apply there so we can get some free insurance too? It's amazing how they say this. Shout out to Jeremy Knowles. Yeah, none, bro. Facts. Most people for a single person health plan probably pay between like $150 to $200 per paycheck, which ends up being about $400 to $500 a month. That's not receiving. That's spending a hell of a lot of money out of pocket. Then on top of it, you got to get dental insurance because that's not covered under medical insurance. You got to get vision insurance. That's not covered under medical insurance. You got to get short-term disability, long-term disability, AFLAC, and all that shit, man. What are they talking about? This is a disgrace. I'm reading this because we just had open enrollment, and I'm irritated at this because I remember looking at all them insurances and the amount keep going up, and I'm like, damn. I had to get the payouts, you know what I'm saying, decreased so that you know I would have a decent paycheck. Shout out to Patrick Tyler with the $4.99 super chat. Patrick says, good morning. Double whatever number the media or politician reports when it comes to these illegals and money spent. You know that they're underreporting. Facts. I agree 100%, bro. If you guys agree with Patrick, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to my man PD that remains. What's good with it, bro? So now here it says the city is sheltering at a taxpayer expense about 4,500 immigrants. Now, mind you, that's just the immigrants that the city is sheltering. When it comes to Denver, they also have a homeless crisis going on at the exact same time, and they're sheltering homeless people as well that they're not talking about here in these articles. Okay. Who without the ability to work won't be able to sustain themselves, let alone pay for health care. So imagine if an influx of these people, a nonstop ongoing influx of these people continues to come in, ongoing influx of unsustainable problems, unsustainable baggage being brought in by people. What's that going to play out and look like, guys? Think about that, y'all. What's that going to play out and look like? Yeah, facts. I want to ask you guys this. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said Val and Blacklight. Exactly. My premiums keep going up as well across the board. Facts. So do the deductible. That's something else that I forgot about is the deductible. And I also forgot about the damn pharmacy. Like, you can't make this up. So now here it says the more patients that we see, that threatens the idea that anybody can come and get excellent care here, McCormick said. In 2021, Colorado had $78.8 million in emergency healthcare expenses for immigrants living in the U.S. without authorization, according to Health First Colorado, which administers the state's Medicaid program. Okay? So now you guys remember on the channel called Undocumented, right? And if you're not subscribed to the channel called Undocumented, if one of the mods could throw the link to that channel in the chat, that would be great. We talked about Medicare insurance for undocumented migrants in California. You guys remember that was the content that Deformed Pretty Boy gave us. If you guys remember that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't remember that, give me a thumbs down. So apparently they got some stuff like this popping off in Colorado too. Now, what's amazing is that they're saying that they don't have the money, but interestingly, this stuff is still getting done. When it comes to stuff for us, they say that they don't have any money and then nothing gets done. You guys notice that? How many of y'all noticed that? Shout out to DeAndre for putting that undocumented link in the chat. We only need 45 more subs on that channel to get to 500, and we got 59 people watching. So of those who are not subscribed to that channel, if you all could please go and hit that link that DeAndre put in the chat and help us to get our goal of getting to 500, that would be great. An unknown portion of a hospital's uncompensated would be included in this figure. Colorado also has a program called Omni-Salud. So you already know that this is something that's geared towards, probably migrants. It began in 2023 that aims to address with state funds the access to care issues that immigrants who are illegally staying in the country face. Why are we spending tax money on things other than locking criminals up? Again, I want to make sure, right? Because the mainstream media will try to sit there and say that this is anti-immigrant rhetoric. This is not anti-immigrant rhetoric. This is anti-criminal rhetoric. It says right in the article, Colorado has also began a program called Omni-Salud, which began in 2023, that aims to address with state funds the access to care issue that immigrants who are illegally staying in the country face. This specifically addresses illegal people coming into the country. But they'll sit up there and say, well, this is anti-immigrant rhetoric. Not true. Not true. And anybody that tries to say that this is anti-immigrant rhetoric is a coward that doesn't want to confront or discuss discuss the issues with somebody who has the facts right in front of them. You know what I'm saying? So what they'll try to do is they'll try to down talk you or try to downplay you. No, you're not going to do that to me. There's nobody that's going to do that to me. Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Jeremy. I'm sorry. I apologize. Shout out to Jermaine. They really think that we're supposed to praise this stuff. Facts. Facts. Absolutely not. We praise the people that expose this stuff. Shout out to Afro Elite. Shout out to TV Hip Hop Media. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to who else talks about the migrant crisis? Philip Scott's channel talks about the migrant crisis, and no disrespect to anybody that I might have missed that also talks about the migrant crisis. It's a lot of YouTubers that make videos, you know, like 5-15-minute videos, and they don't live stream that talk about the migrant crisis too. And they talk about it from our perspective, which is the most important. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ty Valentine. What's good with it, bro? Yeah, I had forgot about the pharmacy, Black Spider, but that's facts. The pharmacy too. Yeah. This is going to cause, you know, the hospitals are either going to, I don't know what's going to happen. They might go bankrupt. Many hospitals are nonprofit to begin with. Yeah, facts. That's why it's so important. Shout out to you guys. That's why it's so important for you guys to share the content. It's so important for you guys to leave comments, leave your raw thoughts and opinions on the content that you guys watch. Tweet at us about this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because the media gets their hands on this stuff and they see it. They know what's going on. They know what's up when it comes to the migrant crisis. You know what I mean? So now here it says in its second year, I want you guys to remember, it's been a long time since I've done All Money Ain't Good Money stream. How many people miss All Money Ain't Good Money? There's some people that are new subscribers that never seen All Money Ain't Good Money. Maybe you might have seen a replay. Yeah, facts, Patrick. They're not polling Americans. So that's one thing. I'm going to start putting polls. I'm going to start putting polls about the migrant crisis in my comment section. I don't ever use my Twitter except for the stream from. I might actually just go on Twitter and put a stream on there or put a post on there, and y'all could do the post and share it or whatever. But I don't really be like going on Twitter or nothing like that too often. So, y'all will just be able to use that for your own reference point, whoever participated in the poll. But yeah, man, we're going to get some polls out there, and we're going to try to get them to as many people as possible. Yeah, that's a fact. Shout out to JW. If you guys agree with JW, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. JW says they are a humanitarian crisis, but the black folks are not. Facts. Facts. Anybody who doubts any of the stuff, if you guys talk about them, please direct them to my channels. Direct them to the Undocumented channel. Direct them to the Undocumented Bros videos. Send them the immigration playlist link. You know what I'm saying? In the second year, Omni Salute has accepted 11,000 enrollees at a cost of approximately $73 million, said Vincent Plymel, Assistant Commissioner for Communications and Outreach for the Colorado Department of Regulatory Agencies. That translates to roughly $6,600 per person. And shout out to Shamika. We got a weird number in there, 66 right there. Y'all see it? It means we are helping more people get health care for unexpected emergencies, helping more parents get their children regular checkups and vaccinations, and letting more people access necessary preventative care while managing chronic conditions, Colorado Insurance Commissioner Michael Conway said in a statement. Okay, what are you doing to decrease the cost? And what are you doing to give those benefits to people who are actually paying tax money for them? Yeah, facts. If you guys agree with Jermaine, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Jermaine said it's funny these migrants wouldn't want nobody flooding their country right that. Facts. Even though they're leaving out of their country, they still wouldn't want nobody coming back in there like that. Which isn't that crazy? You're leaving the country and still would be mad if people was coming into your country like that as you're on the way out. Make it make sense. Please make this make sense. Please make it make sense. Please make it make sense. Lord have mercy. Please make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says what makes this wave of immigration particularly challenging is the pace with which they are coming. That's one of the reasons why it's unsustainable. Because for one, it's constant with the amount. Well, it's constant continuing the flow. And there's also a constant acceleration and increase in the numbers. What's difficult is the volume of people coming in a rapid succession to a place where they don't have existing infrastructure, Federico said. And there's people already here who don't have existing infrastructure. Even though the people here who don't have existing infrastructure literally built the infrastructure for everybody else. I want you guys to look at what's going on in Denver with the school system. We're gonna talk about this a little bit later, but I want you guys to see what we're gonna go into. You guys are gonna have a ton of replays to watch because I'm probably gonna be streaming stuff on and off all day long. So, if you don't catch everything live, I wouldn't worry about it. But if you are one of those people that watches replays, you're gonna have plenty of replays to watch. Student enrollment is down statewide, up in Denver because of newly arriving immigrants. Make this make Student enrollment statewide declined for the second year, with new data from the Colorado Department of Education showing a loss of about 1,800 students on what's called the October count, which is used to determine funding levels for school districts. So what do you guys think is going to happen to the funding levels? So again, what we have is the same situation that we had in New York City, where the funding for the schools is down. Okay, shout out to Mo Facts. What's good with it, bro? You already know, bro. You already know. I be trying to do what I can when I can, because I don't always have time. So that's why when I'm able to, when I have time, I try to boom, 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 boom as much as I can, because I might disappear for a minute. Then when I come back, I had to boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, if y'all not subscribed to Mo Facts channel, make sure y'all go and check Mo Facts out. That's my man right there. You know what I'm saying? He got good content. So now here it says on a percentage basis, it's a fairly small change, said Jennifer Oakes, Chief School Operations Officer for the Colorado Department of Education. Statewide, enrollment remains relatively stable. These 1,800 Colorado students equate to a roughly 0.2 decrease, down from 883,264 in 2022 to 881,464 last fall, state data shows. Colorado's enrollment was last this low in 2013, when 876,999 pupils were counted after gaining 13,438 students. What the October 2nd count doesn't show is the growth spurred by newly arriving immigrants to Denver public schools, the state's largest school district. So now with all of these immigrant kids coming to the school, what's going to happen to the Denver kids? That's my question for you guys. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? In 2022, the district lost more than 1,000 students, which represented a 1.15% change from the previous school year. Not this school year, okay? Since mid-August, the district has had a net gain of 100 students each week, said Russell Ramney, Executive Director of Enrollment and Campus Planning for Denver Public Schools. Now, I want to ask you guys this question. With this knowledge that you now have about what's going on with the Denver Public School, is what's going on with these Denver public schools sustainable? If it is sustainable, give me a thumbs up. If it's not sustainable, put the unsustainable emoji in the chat. That equates to roughly 2,400 new students, about 40 of whom who have enrolled since October. 40% of whom have enrolled since October. For a district that has been shedding students, the additional number of pupils should come as good news in terms of funding. Lower birth rates, Denver's skyrocketing home costs, and gentrification have been the biggest factors behind the district's declining enrollment. But the majority of these out-of-country students arrived after the October count. Okay? In a normal year, enrollment trickles off slowly throughout the entire year, Ramney said. This year, it's been going up over time, and that has been driven by the new-to-country students. Who are the new-to-country students? So, again, notice how these people are not really saying too much about this, you know what I'm saying, in terms of explaining or anything like that. And the reason why they're doing that is because they don't care, because they're going to get funding from this. So they're not saying anything. They're just like, oh, goody, our enrollment's up. That means we're going to get a couple million from the government. Cool. Bet. Let's get it. That's what they saying. You know what I'm saying? Ramney added they would not show up in the October count. Newly arriving immigrants, the majority from Venezuela, so again, all the African people that they keep showing, who have crossed the southern border illegally and arrived in Denver, have been credited with the unexpected increase in enrollment this academic year. So again, anytime you guys are somewhere on Twitter or Facebook or something like that, and somebody starts making all these crazy comments like the New York Post or Tucker Carlson or something like that, talking about all that black people or showing the black people, tag these videos in there. Do not let those people say anything. Shut them down. You know what I'm saying? Because the October count determines funding, it means the district has been short roughly 14 million. It's a cost that the district must absorb. There's no adjustments for funding, Oaks said. Enrollment in Denver peaked in 2019 through 2020 academic year with 92,112 students. While the previous decade showed gains year over year, the trend has since been marked by lower enrollment. Other highlights from the statewide count: first grade was hardest hit with a 3.91% decline, or the loss of 2,478 students compared to 2022. The demographic was with the steepest decline in Colorado were white students, with 7,526 fewer than the previous count, a 1.66% loss. You guys caught that, right? The percentage of multiracial students increased by 3.5%, with Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander students rising 9%. Full-time homeschool students increased by roughly 8%, which to 9,408. All right. So if we go back and look at that amount, you know what I'm saying? You see the white students decreased by 7,526. Homeschool students went up 9,406. So basically what that is that the white people are like, I'm taking my kids out of schools because this is just what we do when other people who aren't white come around. You know what I'm saying? Colorado's enrollment has declined 3 of the past 4 years, with the 2021 being the exception, following a historic drop of 30,000 in 2020 at the height of C-19 pandemic. The state's demographer told the State Board of Education last week she expects to see a downward trend for the foreseeable future. We will see a decline until about 2028 or 2029, Elizabeth Garner, a demographer with the Colorado Department of Local Affairs, said in a statement. We won't get back to 2020 levels until 2035. In a decade between 2010 and 2020, Colorado was the 6th fastest growing state in the country, adding 75,000 people every year, Gardner said. But those numbers have slowed to about more than 30,000 a year. The reason? The mortality rate is up. Fewer babies are being born, and fewer people are moving to Colorado until the migrant crisis. Over the past decade, nearly 2 out of 3 Colorado counties have seen declines in school-age population. Colorado's enrollment reflects national trends, and we're going to be talking about the population decline eventually very soon. Public school systems across the country are experiencing declines in student enrollment, particularly in the early grades. Colorado Education Commissioner Susan Cordova said in a news release, "We know that pre-kindergarten and kindergarten are where students build critical foundations for lifelong academic success, including language development, early literacy, and social skills." Of the state's 5 largest school districts, Denver, Jefferson County, Douglas County, Cherry Creek, and Adams 12, only Denver saw gains in October count, which was plus 371, state data shows. In terms of raw data, Jefferson and Douglas County school districts lost the most students, 906 and 908 respectively. While the state forecast predicts additional student losses, international immigration, housing, and water are among the uncertainties. Well, that's nice. It's always nice to know that you might be drinking your last glass of water. Doesn't that make you feel better? Because shout out to the people that used to watch BLR4 before we converted it to Reacts. Remember we talked about the water crisis? Shout out to G Mars. What's good with it, G Mars? If you guys remember us talking about the water crisis, give me a thumbs up. Remember we were talking about how they were doing the cloud seeding and all that? Historically, Denver public schools have retained about 75% of its new students, but the influx of nearly 38,000 immigrants from South and Central America, many who come with school-age children, means what is unfolding is hardly typical. We still predict an overall decline in the long run, Ramsey said. Consistency, Ramsey said, which is really based on housing availability. And with many of these new-to-country students living in temporary shelters, predicting where the enrollment gains and losses might be makes Ramsey's job challenging. About 12 to 15 schools in southeast and northwest Denver have been absorbed of most of these new arrivals. District officials have said one of the hardest hit areas for declining enrollment has been in southwest Denver. This can have a ripple effect that impacts staffing and class sizes. What has made it more of a crunch is that it has not been distributed equally across the district. What does that mean? What do you think that means? The longer this influx continues, the more the hot spots overflow onto each other. Ramsey added, we see no sign of this changing. Well, okay, well, what does that mean? Y'all know what that means. What does that mean? Let me know in the comment section. If you watch it on the replay, leave it in the comment section. We see no signs of this changing. Didn't we say that? Shout out to Dwayne Rhodes. Don't move a muscle, guys. We about to start Magatron. But before we get started, make sure you guys show Jerry Bedford some love for the $10 super chat. And also make sure you guys show Patrick Taylor love for the $4.99 super chat. Definitely appreciate you. You guys know, can't do it without you guys. So I appreciate that. Stay here. Don't move. Enjoy the music. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
walk up in the life. Yeah, I'm really talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him. Don't believe me? Come and see me. Got 3 wishes from my genie. Now I'm on your local TV. Y'all on tour, got demons. Say she wanna come and see me when I'm in a local city. I'm like, pause though. Please step aside so they can see me. And I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. I'm the realest from my city. That's on my knee, that's on Kiwi, that's on mamas. Niggas don't believe me, come and see me. I been dodging all that face. All these niggas working broke, but I been getting paid. All that know me from the street. Flexing for what feature, that's like every other week. Talk behind my back, I kick my feet up, have a seat. Cause at the end of the day, all these watching me as I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey.